this video, we're documenting our trip to New York to meet with trading club members and to spend time with family and friends. We're currently driving to the Houston airport. We're in the airport now, going through clear.
Please subscribe to our channel.
We're now landed in New York, and we are getting into the Uber and heading to the Airbnb. So this is the Airbnb. Show you around the Airbnb here a little bit. It's the kitchen area. This is considered a very nice unit in New York. It was about a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, maybe 2.5 bedroom, because you can see that small bedroom was really small. You can argue that's not even a bedroom. But this is a good sized place for a New York apartment. It's about 1,000 square feet. And now we are heading to the main event the main reason why we came to New York, and that's to meet with trading club members. We're going to a WeWork here, kind of documenting the travel. It's really nice to be able to just walk to the WeWork here in Queens in Astoria. This is the WeWork location, and now we're just going up to our conference room to get ready for the meeting. Gonna go over a few things just to practice what I'm going to be talking about with some of the members and take some pictures and so forth with the family.
Can you write our last name? All right.
So people can know who Daddy is.
That's a good idea.
And I can write his name, so they know who's his name.
All right.
I'm about to start practicing some of the presentation.
The strikes, the standardized strikes that's created by the exchanges. You can see that it's really a lot at the end of the day, especially this Russell, and we're really rocking and rolling to the upside after this bank issue has been resolved.
This is my daughter taking pictures. She wanted to copy my wife, so she's doing a really good job. So now we are taking a bathroom break just before the main event starts.
Six months, some people take a year, some people take 2 years. That's fine. It's we all learn on a different pace. But once you learn it, you have this this deep love for it, and you'll wish you learned started in high school, or whatever. Right?
Oh yeah,
because it's pretty powerful. And so what we do is we teach people how to trade short-term stuff like 0 DTE, 1 DTE. You're doing 1 DTE. Some people do the bread and butter. I primarily trade 30 to 60 days records. No speeding tickets, nothing, right? And there's people out there like that, right? That the insurance company just tries to make money on hand over fist, right? And that's how you can do with options. So for me, I like to run my one-man insurance company with a mixture of being conservative and then trying to hit a home run. But when I hit that home run, I want it to be in a way that is, if I strike out, it's only a small percentage of my account and it doesn't change the ballgame at all. But if I hit the home run, it changes the ballgame, right? So, and you can do that with options. So if you're the buyer of the option, you're the purchaser of insurance, right? You're buying protection from someone and monies are coming out of your account if you're the buyer. But if you're the buyer of a call, then that's how you can hit your home run ramps, right? You can hit your home run. If you're the buyer of a put, then you can hit a home run of it going down. Because you're the buyer of a put, you want it to go down, as this image is indicating on the screen here. But when you're the seller, then you are your one-man Geico. You're the Geico company. You're trying to have the odds on your side. And as an option seller, you can literally have 99% chance of winning if you wanted to have that. but your dollar amount is going to be, really small, right? Really small. So it's this whole saying that you've maybe read, or if you haven't, you will, as you get more into credit spreads or whatever the case may be, or selling Yankee puts, is that they talk about picking up dimes or pennies and getting ran over by a steamroller, right? Because some people, they say, well, I want to take that 99% chance. And they think it's 100% chance. And it's not, right? So sometimes you're going to have that steamroller because you're trying to pick up those pennies. And those pennies keep coming. They feel like it's like a cash cow. And the next you know, boom, you ran over. And COVID was like that, right? Yeah, okay, all right. QQQ, all right. It jumped up too much on you, huh? Yeah. And that happens, right? That happens. So you have to be prepared for that. And so like it's this book out by Nassim Taleb, or whatever how you pronounce his last name, but it's called The Black Swan. And maybe you guys have heard of it and so forth. But years ago, people didn't think it was any black swans, right? And then they went to Australia, I think it was, and they saw a black swan, right? And it's this kind of event thing that you think something, just because it's never happened before, that it can't, and that's not true, right? So you have to be prepared for those black swans, like the pandemic. Right? I thought I was a student of the game, right? And that I knew all the history about the markets and so forth, and I thought that the market tells you it's the kind of adding machine, it's the voting machine. It tells you what people are fearful about and what people are not fearful about, right? So we hear that China is locking down, right? They're shutting down because of this virus, and I was thinking maybe it's like bird flu. They were doing bird flu, if you guys don't remember, but it never hit here in the States. It never, we didn't shut down or anything ever happened. But then Apple came out and they said we're kind of doing earnings alerts, and they're going to miss their earnings because they're having to shut down factories and so forth in China. But what did the market do? The market disregarded that too, and Apple kept going up, and I'm like, what? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe everything's okay, right? Maybe it's okay. But if you remember, the market was going up a lot anyway, right? Still, and I was already bearish. So, but I was bearish based on like a 10% move or something, right? I wasn't bearish enough to be ready for a 30% move in less than 2 weeks. That's what happened, right? So even though I thought I was ready for this black swan, right? Or I was, I had the history and so forth and thought the market was telling me what was going on, but the market was wrong. It was wrong about what was going on, right? And then it didn't give you a chance to kind of like, okay, well, I see the hurricane coming, it's gonna hit us in about, 2 days, and I can back up, and no, it was like bam, just like that. And so that taught me something, and it taught me like the Dorian Way has been the formulating of the strategies has been through trading and reading a lot and learning from others and all that kind of stuff, right? And so now I didn't have this rule of, okay, get to the sideline if you're down 20%, right? Because I wasn't down 20%. I didn't have these big, like I said, I was up 10 straight years, right? I didn't have these big drawdowns. So, but with the COVID, I had a big drawdown, and so fast, I had to come up with a new rule and say, okay, that should have told me something was wrong. And I should have, got out of the water because Jaws was coming, right? But no, I stayed in the water and got bit, right? Took a leg and an arm, right? So now, one of the things I've learned with the Dorian Way is even though the odds are on your side of selling, you have to understand that if something is wrong, you have to get to the sideline fast, because it's easy to recover from a 10% down move. Like if you're down 10%, it only takes literally only 11% to get back to even. But if you're down 50%, it takes 100% to get down back to even. Right? And if you're down, I think we were looking at the chart the other day, if you're down 80%, it's gonna take you like 400% to get back to even. So the smaller your loss, the better. Right? The smaller your loss, the better.
Now it's time to let the girls play a little bit while we're in New York. Spend a little time with family and friends. So this was a nice little kid area in New York that my wife found. And so it looks like they're having a good time. Then it was time to eat. This is one of these awesome kind of New York pizza places. The pizza was phenomenal, and my daughter and some of the family members enjoyed it. So now we're spending some time with some friends that we knew in the Houston area that recently moved to Philadelphia, and they decided to meet us up in New York at the Airbnb. Very close friends of ours. They have 2 daughters, the same as us. So now it's time to go see Times Square and go see Central Park. So the guy that's got my daughter on his shoulders is Austin. That is Uncle Austin, my sister's brother. And so when you go to New York, you have to go on the subway. This is a fun experience. Most New Yorkers take the subway. So we were going to go to Central Park and Times Square via the subway. So this is us going into Central Park now, and it's a really amazing park, really a beautiful area of New York. Hopefully some of the video here is doing it some justice. So now we're going literally into Central Park, and they have a bunch of rocks inside of Central Park, if you've ever been there, that you can climb on. So I was super nervous of my daughter climbing on these rocks because she's only 5, but her Uncle Austin was really taking care of her here. My daughter absolutely enjoyed climbing these rocks all throughout the park. Now it's time to go to Times Square, and it's a nice little walk throughout New York here, and it's a bunch of people out. The weather was, fairly nice, and it's just got this bustling type of feel in New York. So it's one of my favorite cities. Enjoyed going and just people watching. So now we're in the heart of Times Square. You can see how crowded it is and people entertaining, doing dance shows and so forth, and moving the camera around a little, probably too fast, but you can get the gist of how this, how the area was. Then it was time to have dinner with some more family and friends at this kind of Russian spot in New York. It was really, really nice food, and just enjoying time with family, going back to Uncle Austin's house, and he had this nice little spread. And so now it's time to go back home, right? So we're going through the airport here on the plane, and just really enjoyed ourselves. And so if you enjoyed this video, we encourage you to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.